All right, guys, how you doing? My name is Rich Guzman, and welcome to a brand new live. And today is a great topic. I'm so excited about this topic because it's a big one. It's a doozy, and a lot of people really don't think about this when they're trying to build a business on the internet, and they want success, but they chase the money. So, chase for success and not the money is the topic for today. And I want you guys to really pay close attention, because this is the big one. This is the big thing. This is the secret sauce. This is the thing that a lot of people are not really talking about, right? They're talking about side hustles and make money, and you can do this with a side hustle, and it's like I get so sick of hearing the same thing over and over and over, and nobody really is thinking for themselves. They can't really realize that everybody has a unique gift. Everybody has a unique way that they can attract people to the marketplace, right? Attract people to their business, but they're not really, reaching inside and figuring it out that they have such great potential. So, tips for success, not the money. Let's go into this now. Here's the thing about that I've been seeing a lot online, and I want to talk about this. A lot of people are doing the same thing over and over and over again, and they're following people, and there's that person following that person, and it's the same word, the same verbiage, and it's not conducive to their success, right? Because they think that people, are motivated by money. People are not motivated by money subconsciously. Let me get a little deep into that. Subconsciously, they are not motivated by money. Consciously, yes, because they hear about inflation, they hear about all the bad things going on, and how everything's getting more expensive. They can't afford things. Then yes, consciously, they're going to be thinking about money problems, how they need money and things like that. But subconsciously, that's not important to them. What's important to people is a better life, um, living an extraordinary life that they dreamed about, but they lost that dream. They lost that connection to what they really want, right? And I can tell you that whenever I want something, I create a vision around what I want, and that vision that I create around it has nothing to do with money. And then I end up making a lot of money, right? Because the vision is always about the extraordinary life, okay? Now, do we all need money? Everybody needs money. That's the whole system runs monetary on money. We understand that. But as an entrepreneur, what happens in the very beginning, people expect and they think that people are motivated by money. So if they talk about money, they're going to attract people to their business. And the reality is they're not. They might attract some people that are not as serious, and in the first wind that blows the wrong way, they quit, right? And that's not what we're looking for here. We're looking for long-term, sustainable business, okay, where you can live a life of freedom and do what you want with whom you want, right? And it all boils down to living your own extraordinary life. And when it comes to having that vision, okay, chase the success, not the money, because the success links to results, links to dreaming, links to vision, and more importantly, purpose. Okay? So, like me and Ace, we have a purpose, right? And that purpose is to serve. The byproduct of that service is an extraordinary life. Okay? Like, I don't know if you can see, but if I put my camera, I don't know if it's going to work, but when you look out here, the sun is blinding because it's really like the sun's right, the sunset. But if you look right there off to the distance, there's the ocean right there. I can sit at my balcony and see the ocean, right? And that's my life every day now, right? Because I focus not on the money, I focus on living an extraordinary life. And how can I help people live their extraordinary life, right? So, and it's just having that purpose, and having that vision of what you want really makes the impact, really makes the difference in your life when you're trying to have success. You're going to see so many people, and me and Ace like to call that noise. There's a lot of noise out there. And that noise is all about the same language. It's like, wah, 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 wah. It all sounds the same. All it is just noise. And they think that that noise is going to bring them to the promised land. It's going to, give them exactly what they want. And sometimes, 9 times out of 10, they don't know what they want. They have no purpose, and they have no understanding why they're doing it in the first place, right? And that's a recipe for disaster. Without that, there's no vision, there's no goal, there's no deadlines. And then what do you got? You got something that is on a wish, on a hope that doesn't exist. Okay? And we talked about this before on previous lives that me and Ace have done. And it's so important to understand that you have the ability starting today, all right, and pick up a little pad like this. I have this pad. I love these Post-its, right? Post-its, but they're the long ones, okay? The long ones. And what I like to do is, I like to, before I go to bed, I like to write down the top 3 things that I have to focus on the following day. The most top 3 things. Even if it's kind of things like that you don't really want to do, but you're supposed to do, those are the things that I write down. And the one that I feel like, oh boy, I got to do that, but subconsciously I don't want to do it. That's the first thing I write down because I want to do it, be responsible about it, get it out of the way, and then start with the second, and then start with the third. Now you might be asking, well, Rich, why only 3 things? Because the mind can only take a specific amount of task, all right? And if you put too much, you'll get overwhelmed, and then your vision, okay, you'll stop thinking about your dream, your vision, and your extraordinary life that you want to live. And then what will happen is you'll just not do anything, and you'll just waste time and try to figure out to do something else that has nothing to do with your business or anything else like that. It happens a lot. It happens. So start thinking about, do this exercise. Start thinking about exactly what you want, right? And I met Ace in 2010, and I taught Ace on how to create a vision. And when I came to her about this, she's like, I don't know how to create a vision, Rich. I don't see what you see. I don't get it. All I want to do is make money. I go, well, that's your problem. You're so focused on making money that you're not focused on a vision of what makes you feel good and what you want for your extraordinary life. It's no wonder when I first met you, you weren't making any money and you were only making, what, $9 checks a month, right, with the network marketing business. She was struggling to the point that I had to help her. And when I helped her, she started making a couple $100 a month, right, and $1,000 a month. She started ranking in her company. And then she realized that she goes, I want to learn more about what you're doing. How do you make the big checks? How do you make the big, profits and the big money that you're making? Because you're over here and here you are making tens of thousands of dollars and I'm only making a little bit of breadcrumbs here. I'm like, well, now you're making, $200,000, but now she wants to make more. So now she wanted to know the secret. And I said, well, you need to start an exercise. And she goes, no, Rich, I don't want to do the vision thing. I don't want to think about the vision because I just doesn't work for me. I don't see anything when I close my eyes. I'm like, trust me, try this exercise. And what I want you to do is, I want you to relax, take a deep breath, exhale, and then I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to vision. I want you to create a vision. You're on a tropical island right now. And in this tropical island, you feel a nice, cool breeze. You're right by the ocean. You feel just that little bit of a chill, but it's not too cold. It's just right. It just feels nice. And you're sipping on a nice virgin pina colada because she doesn't drink alcohol, right? So I was painting the picture for her, but she had her eyes closed after she took a deep breath. And I said, now what I want you to do is I want you to step your emotion into what you see in your mind. Forget about what you just see. Okay, hold on to it, but now I want you to put your emotion into it. And then what I want you to do is I want you to tell me, what does it feel like? How does it feel right now as you're thinking about this visually with your eyes closed? You have to tell me. I said, she goes, it feels good. It feels great. But I still don't believe in it. Okay? Okay, all right. So we kept practicing this, and little by little, she started learning about the vision. And so what happened is in 2016, okay? Remember, we met 2010. In 2016, we had to go on a trip to Hawaii. We actually invested some mentorship coaching, stuff like that. We went to Hawaii, and it was the second trip that I told you this. Not the first one. We went to Hawaii twice. And the second business trip to Hawaii, we actually were sitting on a surfboard table, right? And we were having a pina colada. And it was dark, and we had the catamans on the ocean with the lights glimmering across the ocean water. It was beautiful. And all of a sudden, I looked over to Ace and I said, how does that pina colada taste? How does it feel? And her eyes completely just opened up. She's like, oh my God. And I looked at her and I said, don't ever underestimate the power of creating your own vision and thinking that you can't create an extraordinary life. And it starts with the top three things that you should be focusing on to reach that dream, to reach that extraordinary life. It can be that simple. I never said it was easy, but it can be that simple. And if you stay on that course and you stay on that track, what's going to happen is your focus is going to pivot to the right things that you should be focusing on. Not the money, not the money, the success of you, of your ability to create greatness within you, because you have the ability to transform with one decision. And that one decision specifically could alter the way that you think and your perception, the way you look at the world. Not only that, but the perception, the way you look at other people. Because you start to see things a lot more clearly. You know what I mean? You start to see things very, very clearly when it comes to success. You see, it's not what you thought. It's not what you thought. It's more about what you want, not what you thought, what you want. You have to dig in deep and ask yourself what you want. And when you know what you want, that's when things become a lot more clearer. When they become a lot more clear and you're doing your tasks, now the purpose for the task is not the money. It's the purpose behind the task. See the difference? So if I'm creating some tasks, I'm doing these tasks because there's a vision. There's a purpose bigger than you. And that's what will bring the byproduct of monetary. See how that works? Every successful entrepreneur has a purpose, has a reason. Case in point, why did Elon Musk want to buy Twitter? Does anybody know? Does anybody know why did Elon Musk want to buy Twitter? You guys know? See in the chat. Hey Doug, how you doing? Roy, what's going on? Jason, David Gibson. What was the reason? Let me know right now. What is the reason why Elon Musk wanted to buy Twitter? I want you guys to participate. This is going to help you understand how entrepreneurs think. Thank you. Doug West said free speech and spot on. Does free speech have anything to do with money? Hey, girls, he said no. Of course not. Free speech has nothing to do with money. What he said was he wanted to transform the digital town square to a free speech platform had nothing to do with money. You see how entrepreneurs think? There always has to be a purpose behind the goal. Not just create a goal, it's got to be a purpose behind that goal. And he'll do it. He'll do it. And you guys got to start today, like right now, today. Like, what's the purpose? But it's got to mean something great. It's got to mean that you start to think about it, and it changes everything. So when you step in front of that computer, and you actually start to see things in a way you never saw before, then everything changes. Because now when you're looking at this, you go, oh, I gotta fight for my extraordinary life. I gotta fight to achieve results. I gotta fight on how to comprehend these strategies in my business. And that changes the picture when you think about the chase. And I love that word, the chase, guys. Because I gotta ask you, what are you chasing? What are you chasing? If you're chasing nothing, I'm sorry to say, but it's going to be very short-lived, your career as an entrepreneur. You always have something to chase, and that will spark your flame. That will wake you up, and then you'll start seeing the greatness come out inside of you. You'll start seeing leadership come out inside of you that never existed. You'll start to have more bravery and belief and conviction when you're out there building your business. This is the most important thing when it comes to building your affiliate marketing business or any digital business online for that matter, right? Why is it that some people succeed and most people don't? It's because, number one, lack of belief. It's cliche, but it's true. It's lack of belief. But the reason why it's a lack of belief because they never done that exercise. They never really thought about every single day for just a little while. Close your eyes and visualize what it feels like to be in that space. It's powerful stuff, guys. But you got to take it seriously. You got to really want it. And here's the other thing that happens. When you start thinking about your vision, when you start to truly believe, see, when you can create a vision and you can exercise the way I taught you today, but here's the problem. If you don't truly 100% every ounce of your being, spiritual, physical, metaphysical, whatever you want to call it, has to be every element of who you are. If you doubt for just a fraction of a moment, pack it up. Pack it up. It's not going to work. Because people can see it in you, and if they can see it in you, I know you can see it in yourself, it's not going to work. You have to have conviction. So let's say that, okay, let's keep it simple. Somebody wants to have a new car because their car is on the fritz and they need money to get a car. What would I do if I was in that situation? Number one, I would create a vision of what would it feel like to drive that particular car. What would I feel like? Would I feel scared? Would I feel excited? Would I feel doubtful? Do I feel misery when I think about that? Do I feel like, oh, that's not going to work now, I'll never get this car? Are you thinking about all these different emotions when you think about what you want? Because that's what's going to happen. So if this person steps into their greatness and actually uses their mind and starts saying, you know what, I want an Audi. An Audi. Let's talk about an Audi. I'm not an Audi fan, but let's talk about an Audi. I'm thinking about my brother loves Audi. And step into that and say, you know what, I want an Audi. And this Audi, I'm going to put my mind's eye together there, and I'm going to start thinking about this, and I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to go into that state. could be saying, well, wait a minute. I never sat in an Audi. I never drove an Audi. Well, what's stopping you going down the street to the dealership and stepping into a car and taking a test drive? And then really feeling it and going back home and repeating that same process. Because now that you know what it feels like, you go back and reflect on that emotion, how you felt when you're thinking about it daily. You guys ever watched the movie The Secret? Remember the movie The Secret? How they said, oh, just imagine that you're in a car. And, it's more to it than that, guys. It's a lot more to it than that. So, again, somebody else wants to pay off their mortgage. What does that feel like to have no mortgage? Have you thought about that? How does it feel like to have no debt by not having a mortgage? What does it feel like? Well, I better get cracking. I really want to make that happen. I'm going to make it happen because I love that feeling so much. And it feels so good. And I got to get clarity and I got to get focused and I got to be driven to make that happen. See, nothing ever happens, guys, in your life unless you go over the wall of fear. And what happens is when people use that vision, they get scared. Because you know why they get scared? Because they're afraid it might come true. And they won't know how to handle it. Yes, that happens. Hey, I don't want to throw Ace under the bus, but I will. She was afraid. She was afraid to actually come to a beautiful island and live an extraordinary life. She was definitely afraid. And we could have been here years ago because she was afraid. It was fear. What happened? What changed? What changed? She got sick of the fear. She got sick of doubt. She got sick of wonder. She wanted to feel bliss. And she noticed. She noticed. Oh, $9 story. I'm going to get to that one too. Right? She got sick of feeling that way. And she said, you know what? Let's go. And you know what's more magnificent than that? She came here and never visited this place. I've been here plenty of times. She's never been here. She went against fear in a big way. And ask her how she feels now. Bliss every day. She feels bliss. Every day she wakes up, she feels bliss. She walks out, to the balcony. She looks out to the ocean, see the water ripple in the distance. She says, oh, let's get things ready for tomorrow to go to the beach. Like, her life is completely transformed. And she's in bliss every day. But what happened before? What she was scared. Fear. Right? All the negative emotions, all those things that hold people back. She experienced. And now she finally just went against that whole fear. Went over the ocean. Landed to a place she'd never been to before. In the dark, because our plane was, arriving at night. She's never been here. And even at night, she's like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what's going on. I said, wait till the morning. Right? And she woke up in the morning and she heard the birds chirping. She heard all these exotic birds. She see these, saw these little geckos, little lizards running around. Saw the greenery right outside the door. But we weren't here yet. We were staying with a friend. Right? And then we were going over to the place to get the keys. And guess what? When she came over here, she was shocked. She was completely, utterly shocked. When she says, this is my new home? I said, yes, baby, this is your new home. Go take a look outside. There's a pool there if you want to go swimming. There's an ocean view. Here's a sunset. This is your new home. because you took action, you worked very hard, you believed, and now here are the fruits of your labor. And every day you know what she tells me? She goes, I'm grateful. I have gratitude. I'm so grateful for what we have. I'm so grateful that, you know, there's people out there struggling, and then we can be out there, we can help them, we can teach them, we can give them everything we got. It's up to them to believe. We can tell them our story, how we struggled, how we had nowhere to go. We were in Motel 6, got our first apartment in Massachusetts, and now the legacy is growing. And I want you to understand this because this is a reality. This is the truth. And nobody's going to tell you that. You know, entrepreneurs won't really go into deep details like I do. But I mean, I say, I give it all. I give it all away because I want you guys to feel it. I want you to know it. I want you to understand it. So that way, when you're in front of your computer and you're writing those top 3 things down tonight, but you know what you have to do. Now you're looking at that list a little bit different than you did in the past. Now it's not about these tasks. It's about you in your life. How much does it matter to you, right? And that's a good point. Delroy said, if you're living in your comfort zone, beware. Absolutely. And boy, I'll tell you, I saw Ace on the plane. She looked nervous. I'm not gonna lie, she looked scared. You know, she's crossing the ocean. Look outside the window, black ocean with the moon glistening across. That's all she saw. Nothing but endless water for a while. So guess what? The next day I said it was what was priceless to me. This was so priceless. Is to see the look on her face and also Angel's face when they came here and saw the new home. That you can't again vision things like that is what matters. That's the big picture. That will help you make so much money because it doesn't it, it's not even the byproduct. It's something bigger than yourself. It's just amazing when you can touch another human being's life and see the look on their face, and it's just I get kind of emotional because it's really big. It's really big. You know what I mean? And I want you to think about that when you can touch another human being and tell them like, listen, I'm the go-to person. I can help you. I can teach you. That's why you invest. That's why you learn. That's why you do. That's why you teach. So you become the hunted, not the hunter. Okay? I'll leave it with that, guys. Love you guys and appreciate you. And this was a great live. I'll see you on the next live. Well, I usually do this Monday through Friday. I might do it tomorrow. I'll keep it up in the air. But usually Monday through Friday, we actually do these lives and stuff like that. So, again, love you guys. Appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for being here. And I will see you tomorrow or Monday on a new live. Okay? Take care, guys.